Mark Busenich, senior reporter for LaborPress, and we're here today speaking with Harry Nespoli, who's the president of the Uniform Sanitation Workers, Local 831. Welcome, Mr. Nespoli.
Thank you.
What are your main concerns about this year's budget?
Well, the main concerns about the budget is that the fact that there's a lot of unions out there that don't have contracts yet. And I think that the labor has been very patient with the mayor. You know, in the past 3 years, the mayor's been saying deficit, deficit, deficit. And in the past 3 years, it's been surplus, surplus, surplus. He talks about no retroactive money now. Well, he kind of created the retroactive money. If he's just, over the last 4 years, just settled a few contracts as we moved along, there wouldn't be retroactive money. And we honestly feel that we could have done that back then. But he's standing firm on the fact that he wants to do 3 zeros, a 2.5 and a 2.5. Look, this is New York City. We're working now. There's unions out there with 4 years without a contract.
Does that include your union?
My union's out 1 year. You have unions out there 4 years. The teachers are out 4 years. These people have been paying bills on credit cards. They have been paying over and over again. The cost of living in New York is very high. And what we honestly feel is that if he would have turned around and dealt in good faith, the last time around, the last couple of years, there wouldn't be that big problem of these contracts being. Look, we realize that the city and what's going on throughout the country as far as economically, we're not fools. We know that. But you have to come to the table looking to make a deal. They didn't come to the table looking to make a deal.
And not just your union, but multiple unions.
Every union.
All public sector unions.
All public sector. 99 unions are out there now.
Now, we know that the city got back $600 million from the City Time scandal. So that would seem that money could be that money alone, could that be used to settle a majority of the public sector contracts that are still not been settled?
There's been people laid off in this city, and it's still out there. That money should be put towards bringing back the people that have been laid off. That's where that money should go to.
The sanitation workers that you represent, what are you hearing from your members as far as conditions on the job? What are they telling you?
Well, naturally, a year out without a contract, the bills are starting to pile up. They're looking at a contract. They're looking to turn around and to do what they have to do. Even though we're working without a contract, we've worked the contracts before. But when it reaches a certain point, it gets totally ridiculous. You have to come to the table and to bargain in good faith. You can't just keep moving reserves to next year, to next year, to next year, to next year. Those reserves should be used for contracts to settle some of the municipal. They're taxpayers just like everybody else. They have to pay their taxes. They have to pay their bills. They're workers. They live in New York City, and it's very expensive here. So basically, what I'm focusing in right now with the sanitation is the fact that winter's coming. As much as summer is next week, winter's coming. And I want to be prepared to protect the people in New York City with the manpower. We can only do what we can do with manpower. If we don't get our manpower, we're going to have a big problem in the city again.
Are you worried about a Tier 7?
I'm not worried about nothing. I'm going to deal with what I can deal with the best I can. And the unions are united to stick together and to fight the best we can for our members. That's what the union is about. What do they want to do? Do they want the unions just to roll over and die? We're not going to do that. All they're doing is New York is New York. New York is not Wisconsin. It's not other cities throughout this country. This is New York City. The unions, private and municipal, are united to help it to make a decent wage. All we want to do is make a decent wage, decent benefits, whether you work for the private sector or the municipal sector, and have a decent life after work.
Mr. Nespoli, you just mentioned Wisconsin. Do you feel that gives the city authorities the green light to pursue what they pursued in Wisconsin?
Well, listen, they can try to pursue what they want to pursue. Nobody's going to stop them. And again, I'm going to say it the way I've said it years ago. Middle class did not cause this problem with what's going on out there now. There's certain people that are taking advantage of this problem, and even though financially they're in good shape, they're not recognizing it, and they just want to hold unions down. This town, they're going to have a fight, because between the private and municipal, again, we are united to fight together.
Mr. Nespoli, thanks for your time.